Hello everyone, welcome to our new video. In this video, we'll be discussing about Facebook Conversion API. Okay, so we'll try to uh, discuss about what is Facebook Conversion API, what are the necessity of using Facebook Conversion API, and in the later part of the video, we'll show you how we can set up Facebook Conversion API using first-party data. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. So first of all, let's get to know what is Facebook Conversion API and why do you need to use it. The Conversion API can help you better measure ad performance and attribution across the customer journey from discovery to conversion. This helps you better understand how digital advertising impacts both online and offline results, increase event matching to reduce cost per result. Okay, so this is the basic intro about Conversion API and the benefits of using Conversion API. So if you want to learn more about Conversion API, then you can go to the official documentation of Meta. Then you will get the holistic uh, uh, informations about the Conversion API. Okay, so you can see over here how Conversion API works. Okay, manage a single API for event data, then using Conversion API to send website events. If you want to learn more about this, then you can uh, read them from here. Improve connectivity to reduce cost per result. So this is the benefits of using Conversion API. Optimize ads for action that happens later in the customer journey, improve measurements, increase event matching to reduce cost per result, then using Conversion API with the Meta Pixel. Okay, then using Conversion API to send app events, using Conversion API to send offline events, using Conversion API to send messaging events. Okay, so I'm gonna share this doc file in the video description so that you can learn more about Conversion API. What is Conversion API? What are the benefits of using Conversion API? Okay, perfect. So I'll be following this site for implementing server-side Facebook Conversion API. You can see over here how to implement server-side Facebook conversion tracking. Facebook conversion tracking on the server side gives you opportunity to minimize uses of JavaScript libraries on the client side and may reduce page loading time. Running Facebook conversion tracking codes on the server side may gives you better security for your client's data. You can have also more control over the data and decide which you want to send to Facebook. Additional feature is that this solution minimizes the impact of ad blockers. Okay, perfect. So you can see we need to use a GA4 client, you know. Then if you don't have any analytics account, then you can put a random number. Okay, and if you have an analytics account, then you can use the measurement ID of the existing uh, GA4 property. Okay, then you can see these are the GA4 event name, GA4 user data parameters. We're going to be using them. GA4 general parameters, GA4 item parameters, Facebook specific parameters. So we're going to be using these parameters. Okay, event ID parameters, customer data parameters. We're going to be using Facebook Conversion API tag template for implementing server-side conversion tracking for Facebook, and where we need to use the Pixel ID API access token test event code. Then we need to set up a trigger called GA4, client name is equal GA4. Okay, so I'm gonna give this site link so that you can enable or set up server-side Facebook conversion tracking. Okay, perfect. So we are going to be using this site for enabling or for setting up Facebook Conversion API using first-party data. So we'll be using custom domains so that we can collect our own domains data, you know. So this is a WordPress CMS. So first of all, we need to check whether data layer has been installed on this website or not. So for checking it, I will take the help of an extension called simple data layer viewer. So you can see over here, sorry, none of the declared data layers could be found on this website, and we could have used other extension which is called data layer checker. So you can either use data layer checker or simple data layer. Okay, perfect. That means currently we don't have any data layer installed on our site. So first of all, we need to install data layer. So for enabling data layer, I'll go to the admin panel of this site. As you know, this is a WordPress CMS. So for going to the admin panel, I'm going to write /wp-admin after my website URL. Then it will take me to the admin panel of my site. Okay, perfect. Then I'll go to the plugin section and I'm gonna click on add new plugin. So I'm gonna search for a plugin called GTM for WP. So for setting up Facebook Conversion API, we need to do browser side tracking and server side tracking as well. So I'm doing it from scratch, like I'll be setting up browser side or client side tracking first, then I'll be setting up server side tracking, So this is the plugin for enabling data layer on WordPress. So I'm going to click on install now. So it is installing. Just wait a little bit. So I'm going to click on activate. So the plugin has been activated. So if I go to the settings, then you can see we have an option called Google Tag Manager. Okay, perfect. Then what I need to do, I'll install Google Tag Manager code and data layer at the same time. So I'm gonna copy this code from here. I have copied it and I'm gonna paste it over here. Okay, perfect. And container code, I'll keep it on and I'll click on save changes. So I would suggest you to double check it because uh, it is off right now. So you need to manually on this container. Okay, container code actually. So I'll go to the integration section for enabling data layer, and from integration I'll go to the WooCommerce, and then I'm gonna enable this option, track enhanced e-commerce. Okay, and if I scroll down a little bit, then I'm gonna enable this one, customer data in data layer, and I will also enable this one, order data in data layer. So I'll be creating some customer uh, data variables. Okay, customer for patching customer informations. That's why I have enabled customer data in data layer and order data in data layer. Okay, perfect. Then I'll click on save changes. So Google Tag Manager and data layer has been installed on our website. Okay, so for checking whether Tag Manager and data layer has been installed on our website or not, I'm gonna use this tools or use this extension called Google Tag Assistant Legacy. So I'll click on enable and I'm gonna refresh the site. Then we can see Google Tag Manager has been installed, GTM M9. So if I go to the Tag Manager, GTM M9, so Tag Manager has been installed, and let's check whether data layer has been installed on this website or not. So you can see over here, uh, data layer has been installed on this website. So this is the view item list event, and we get the currency items and everything. Okay, so it has been installed on this site properly. So let's go to the tag manager. So this is the browser event or web container where we'll be creating all the necessary events for for web container. Okay, perfect. So the first thing I want to do, I need to set up a Facebook pixel. Okay, so I'll go to the business manager and I'm gonna click on connect data source and I'm gonna be choosing web and I'll click on uh, connect and I'll name the data set as W3 offset data set of pics. Okay, perfect. Then I'll click on create. I need to provide my website URL. So I'm going to copy it from here and paste it over here. And I'm going to click on check. I'll click on next. I'll click on do it yourself. I'll click on next again. I'm going to be choosing metapixel and conversion API. I'm going to clicking on next. Okay. So you can ignore this option because we are going to be doing it manually or set up manually. You can choose this option. Okay, then we'll go to the data source option and we're going to be choosing this one W3 ASIP dataset and this is our dataset or pixel ID. Okay, so we'll be creating a constant variable for Facebook pixel ID. Okay, so I'll go to the user defined variables. I'm gonna click on new and I'll name it as Facebook pixel ID. And I'm gonna choose variable configuration as constant and I'll give the value as this one. Okay, so I'll click on save. Perfect. So for setting up Facebook pixel for web container or browser side tagging, we're gonna be using a template. So I'm gonna go to the template section and I'm gonna search for a template called Facebook pixel. Okay, so just wait a little bit. I'm gonna search for Facebook pixel. So this on Facebook archive. Okay, I'm gonna click on this arrow and I'll click on add to workspace. I'm gonna click on add. Perfect. So the first event I'll be creating is Facebook base pixel. Okay, so I'm gonna be clicking on new and I'll name the tag as Facebook event page view. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna be choosing tag configuration as Facebook pixel and in the Facebook pixel ID, I'm gonna be choosing this variable Facebook pixel ID. Okay, so I have created a constant variable for Facebook pixel ID. So enhanced e-commerce data layer integration. Okay, set automatically from data layer. Okay, then I'll be choosing this option. No, I'll not be choosing this option. So I'm going to be choosing page view and I need to create enable advanced matching. So I'll do it later. Okay. And from the object properties, I'll provide or I'll pass Facebook first party data and FBC cookie, FBP cookie, and first party data collection later. Okay, then I'll trigger it as all pages. Okay, perfect. So let's go to the preview section, and I'll copy the website URL, paste it over here, and click on connect. Let's see tag manager. So our tag manager has been connected. Facebook event page view has fired on time. Okay. So if I go to one of the products, so in view item, we go to the data layer section, then we can see we have this information, customer information. So let's make those variables and use them in the use them in this section called enhanced advanced matching. Okay, so I'll go to the variable section, then I'm gonna click on new, and I'll name it as customer. For example, what should I take? Customer billing first name. I'll name it as customer billing first name, and I'm gonna be choosing data layer variable, and I'll provide the value over here. Okay, perfect. So similarly, I will take customer billing last name. I can name it like this, customer billing last name. Then I'm gonna be choosing data layer variable, and I can use the same value over here. Similarly, customer billing address 1. I'll be choosing data layer variable, and I'm gonna use the value customer billing address 1. Then customer billing city. So I'm gonna be clicking on new and use the name as customer billing city, and choose data layer variable and give the data layer variable name as customer billing city. Then customer billing state. So I'll click on new and use the data layer variable name as customer billing state. Then I'm gonna be choosing customer billing postal code. I'll click on new and name the variable as customer billing postal code. Use data layer variable and provide the value. Then customer billing country. Data layer variable customer billing country. Then I'm gonna be taking customer billing email I'll be providing the value as customer billing email, customer billing phone number. So this is the last customer information I'm gonna take from here. Okay, customer billing phone number, and I'm gonna be using data layer variable as customer billing phone. Okay, perfect. So for increasing event mass quality, we need to provide this sort of customer informations. Hopefully you have understood. Okay. Okay, perfect. Then we need to use first party data collection, FBP, FBC. Okay, so let's also create those two variables, first party data FBP, and I'm gonna be choosing this one, first party cookie, and the cookie name would be underscore FBP. Okay, perfect. I'll click on save. Then I'll be clicking on first party data ABC, and I'm going to be choosing variable configuration as first party cookie, and I'll provide the value as underscore ABC. Okay, cool. Then I'll go to the tags section. Then I'm going to be choosing Facebook event page view. Then I'm going to be enable this option, enable advanced matching. Then I will be choosing customer information data parameters. Okay, I'll add the parameters. So I'll choose city. Then I'm gonna be choosing country. Then I'm gonna be choosing email. I'm gonna be choosing first name. I'm gonna be choosing last name. I'm gonna be choosing phone number. I'm gonna be choosing state, and I'm gonna be choosing zip code. Okay, so for city, I'm gonna press double curly braces and we'll get city from here, customer billing city. Then similarly customer country, this one, and customer email, customer first name. So this is the customer first name. Then customer last name, this is the customer last name. Then customer phone. Okay, then customer state. State means city, definitely, or we have an option called state. Then we have an option called postal code or zip code. Yeah, this option. Okay, perfect. And we'll go to the object property section, and I'm gonna click on add property. Then property name would be FBC, FBP, then first party data. So for entering FBC, I'm gonna be search for first party data FBC, and for FBP, I'm gonna be searching for first party data FBP, and for first party data, I'm gonna be providing the value as true. Okay, perfect. So this is for Facebook event page view. So I'm gonna clicking on save. Okay, perfect. The next event I want to create is for Facebook view content. So before creating Facebook view content, I need to create some data layer variables. So I'll go to the variable section. Okay, because we need to provide content type, content name, content category, content ID, value, currency, and order ID is for uh, purchase event. So this is optional. If you want, you can pass this parameter. Okay, perfect. So I'll go to the view item or view content section. Then I need to create some data layer variables from this. Okay, so let's go to the variable section and I'll be naming this as DLV data layer variable, then item maybe DLV item. So I need to create or let's name it like this, e-commerce items. Okay, e-commerce items. Let's name it like this, e-commerce items. So yeah, so I'll go to the data layer variable section and I'm gonna be using this one. So I'll be copying e-commerce, then I'm gonna be taking items from here. So e-commerce is an object, that's why I'm putting dot over here. Then I'm gonna be taking items. So e-commerce dot items. Perfect. Then I'll click on save. Then I'll be clicking on new and I'll name this as DLV item name. Okay, then I'll be choosing data layer variable and I'll go to the data layer schema again. So I'll be taking e-commerce, then I'm gonna put dot as it's an object, e-commerce dot items dot 0. I'll put 0 because this is an array and arrays index start with 0. Okay, e-commerce items dot 0 dot item name. Okay, perfect. So this is for the item name variable. So I'll click on save. And what I can do, I can duplicate this one. So for duplicating, I'll be clicking on this TLV item name and I'll click on this three dot and I'm gonna click on copy. Then I'll remove item name. So instead of name, I'm gonna be using item ID. So e-commerce.items.0 instead of item name, I'm gonna be using item ID. Okay, perfect. Then instead of item name, I'm gonna be using item ID. So I'm gonna click on save. So item name, item ID, then what should we need? Content name, content category actually. So we need to take content or item category. Okay, so what we can do, we can copy this existing one and then can modify. Okay, perfect. Then DLB item category. Okay, then instead of using item name, I'm gonna be using item category. item category. Then we need to create a data layer variable for item price. Okay, so I'll copy this data layer variable. Then I'm going to be using TLV item price. Okay, perfect. Then I'll go to here and instead of using item name, I'm going to be using ecommerce.item.0.price. So I'll click on save. So for view content, add to cart, we need content type, content name, content category, content ID, and value will be used as item price, and currency. We need to create a data layer variable for currency as well. So if I go to the data layer, then you can see currency is over here. Okay. So if we create data layer variable like this, ecommerce.currency, then it will work. Okay. So I'll copy this one and I'm gonna use it like this, TLV. Then this is for currency, so I'm gonna write currency and we're gonna be using ecommerce.currency. Okay, perfect. So let's copy the currency over here. So I'm gonna use currency. Okay, perfect. I'll click on save. Then for view content event, the event name would be view item. Okay, so in Facebook we called view content, and in GA4 we called view item. Okay, so the event name is view item. So I'm gonna copy the event name for creating a trigger. So I've copied it, and let's go to the tag manager, and I'm gonna be choosing triggers from here, and I'll click on new and name the trigger as maybe view content trigger. Okay, so I'll choose trigger configuration as custom event, and I'll give the event name as view item. Okay, this one. So I'll click on save, and I'll go to the tag section. So what I can do, I can copy this tag and then we can modify it. Okay, perfect. So for copying it, I'll click on this three dot and I'm gonna name this event as Facebook event view content. Okay, so view is over here, then I'm gonna add content, view content, Facebook pixel ID is this one, and instead of using page view, I'm gonna be using view content. Okay, and we'll be using enable advanced parameters, so we're using all the customer informations, and I'll go to the object property section, and then I'll add some property. Okay, so if I go to here, then we're gonna be using content type, then we need to use content name, then we're gonna be using content category, then we're gonna be using content IDs, then we'll be using value, then we'll be using currency, and will not be using order ID for view content event. Okay, so content type would be product, so this is for single product. Okay, then if then content name would be item name, TLV item name, this one. Then content category would be DLV item category, and content ID should be TLV item ID. Then value would be TLV price, most probably item price, yeah. And currency would be DLV currency. Okay, perfect, cool. And for triggering, we'll be using view content or view item trigger. Okay, perfect. And I'll click on save. So this is for the view content, and we'll check it later whether it is working or not. So let's create the tag for add to cart. So the data layer schema for view content and add to cart are same. So if I if I create data layer variables for view content, I don't need to create data layer variables for add to cart additionally. Okay, so we can use them for both of the events. So I'm gonna copy the view content tag, and instead of view content, I'll give the name of the tag as Facebook event add to cart. Okay, perfect. And instead of using view content, I'm gonna be using add to cart. Okay, perfect. And all of the things will be remaining same other than the triggering. Okay, so I'll change the trigger, and if I add a product to the cart, then our add to cart event should be fired. So this is the event name. So I'll be creating a trigger using this event. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna copy the event name, and I'll click on this plus button, and I'll name the trigger as add to cart trigger, and I'll be choosing custom event and give the event name as add to cart. Okay, perfect. So let's see whether these two events are working or not. So I'm gonna click on this preview section. Click on continue, and I'm gonna be choosing one of the products, for example this one. So I have viewed this product, and I'm gonna add this product to the cart. And then let's see whether this event fires or not. So you can see over here Facebook event, view content, Facebook event, add to cart. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this option. Then you can see this is the object property, advanced matching list. Okay, so if I go to the variable section for view item, then you can see customer informations are available here. Okay, and DLB currency USD, DLB item category main, item ID, item name, item price. Okay, so the product value was $120, and its currency was in USD or dollar. Okay, so everything is working fine, everything is working properly. So if I go to the add to cart, then you can see it is also working properly. Okay, perfect. So pixel ID, first party data. Okay, everything is working fine. So let's create all the other events like uh, checkout, view cart, and purchase. Okay, so for checkout, uh, view cart, and purchase, we need to create uh, we need to use multiple schemas, like a man can check out multiple products. Okay, so we need to use multiple product arrays for product names and product IDs. Okay, so we'll be creating some variables for product names and product arrays. So this is for the product name, so I'm gonna copy this code from here, and I'll go to the tag manager, and I'll name it as product names multiple array, or multiple array for product names, whatever you call it. Then I'm gonna be choosing custom JavaScript, and I'll provide the value over here. Then I'll click on save. So this is for the product names. So I need to create another one for product IDs. So I'm gonna copy this existing variable, and I'll name it as product IDs multiple array, and I'll go to the translate section, and I'm gonna be copying this one. We copy it and paste it over here. Okay, cool. Then if I view the product, then I'll get an event for view cart. It is loading, just wait a little bit. View cart, and if I go to the schema of view cart, then we need to create uh, a variable for value. So e-commerce dot value actually. So I'll go to new, and I'll name this as DLV value. Okay, perfect. I'll be choosing data layer variable, and I'll provide the name as e-commerce dot value. Okay, perfect. We're all done. And if you want to, not here. Okay, perfect. So we'll be going to the trigger section. Not trigger. We'll go to the tag section, or what we can do, we can create the necessary triggers for view cart, checkout, and purchase. So I'll be clicking on this trigger and name this as view cart trigger, and I'll be clicking on this custom event and name this as view cart, or you can copy it from this section actually. this section, view underscore cart. So if it is spelled correctly, view cart. Okay, perfect. Then we'll be creating a trigger for checkout. I'll name it as checkout trigger. So if I go to the checkout section, then there should be an event called checkout. So it is loading. Just wait a little bit. So I'm going to be choosing custom event. Begin checkout. I'm going to copy the event name from here and paste it as begin checkout. So this is the checkout trigger, and the last trigger I'm going to be creating will be for purchase. Okay, so I'll name the trigger as purchase trigger, and I'm going to be choosing this one as custom event, and the event name would be purchase. Okay, so if you make a purchase, then the event name would be like this, purchase. Okay, perfect. So I'll go to the text section and I'll copy add to cart event, and I'm going to be copying this event name, and instead of using add to cart, I'm going to be using view cart. Okay, view cart. So instead of using standard, I'm going to be using custom, and I'll name the event as view cart. Okay, perfect. Enable advanced matching. We'll be using customer informations. Then object properties, BCA, BP, content type, product, content name. I'll be using content name as product names multiple array. Content category as item category. Perfect. Content ID says product name. Product ID is multiple array. This one, and value as TLV value. TLV value. Maybe like this, TLV value. This one, TLV value, and currency as TLV currency. Instead of using add to cart trigger, I'm going to be using view cart trigger. Content type product, content name product, content category, content IDs, value, currency, and view cart. Fine. So I'm gonna copy this tag and use it for checkout. Okay, I'll copy it from here and I'll rename it as Facebook event checkout. So instead of using custom, I'm gonna be using standard, and I'm gonna be using maybe initiate checkout. Yeah, this one. And enable advanced matching, I'll be using the same object properties. I'm gonna be using the same. So as the trigger, I'll be using checkout trigger, and I'll click on save. Okay, so let's make a purchase. So I need to provide all the necessary billing informations. Then I'll click on place order. You can see I placed an order, and if I go to the tag assistant, then there should be an event called purchase. Okay, so we are in the purchase event, and it is better to create customer information using order data, you know. So I'll be creating customer informations for the purchase event using order data schema. Okay, order data dot customer dot billing dot first name, like this. So let's go to the variable section. So what you can do, you can use this formula for all the other events other than purchase, like customer billing, first name, last name, address, phone number, email address for page view event, view content event, add to cart event, checkout, and view cart event. And for purchase event, you can use this uh, this formula that I am gonna be showing you right now. Okay. So I'll go to the user defined variable, and I'm gonna be clicking on new, and I'll name it as purchase, maybe purchase customer info first name. Sorry for that, first name. Okay, and I'll be clicking on data layer variable, and I'll go to the order data dot customer dot billing dot first name. So this is for the first name. Then I'm gonna copy this data layer variable and reuse it for last name. Okay, perfect. First name, then I'm gonna be using it as last name. Order data customer dot billing, instead of first, I'm gonna be using last name. So I'll click on save. First name, last name, then most probably email, address actually. So instead of last name, I'm gonna be using address 1. And the next one is city, state. So I'll copy this. I'm gonna copy city, and instead of address 1, I'm gonna be using city. Okay, cool. Then the next one is state. I'll copy this data layer variable. Then I'm gonna be using state instead of city. Then postcode. Instead of state, I'll be using postcode. The next one is country. Purchase country. Then next one is email. So I'm gonna be copying this data layer variable. Instead of country, I'm gonna be using email. And the last one I'm gonna be using is phone. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna modify and copy this data layer variable. Instead of using email, I'm gonna be using phone. Okay, so we're done. Then I'll click on save. Then we'll go to the tag section and we'll be copying this checkout tag and we'll be creating a tag for purchase. Okay, so I'll rename it using Facebook event purchase. Okay, cool. And I'll give the event name as purchase. Yeah, this one enable advanced matching. And instead of using this, I'm gonna be using for city, I'll be using purchase customer info city, then purchase customer info country, then purchase customer info email, purchase customer info first name, purchase customer info last name, purchase customer info phone, purchase customer info state, purchase customer info, zip code or postal code. Okay, perfect. And as the object property, first party data, product content name, product names, multiple array, content category, team category, content name, product array, value, currency, all of the things will be remaining same other than the trigger. So I'll be using the purchase trigger. Okay, perfect. So we have set up Facebook client site or browser site or web conversion tracking. So let's check whether it is working or not. So for example, I'll be choosing this product and I'll add this product to the cart. Then I'm gonna view this product or view cart this product. I'll click on checkout. I'm gonna place the order and let's go to the tag assistant and you can see all of the events as fired. Okay, so let's go to the purchase event and if I go to the variable section, then you can see everything is working fine, everything is working properly. Okay, so our browser site tracking is done. So now we'll be aiming for server side tracking or server side tagging for Facebook. Okay, so we'll be using step browser for setting up server side tagging. Okay, so you can either use step or you can use Google Cloud. Okay, so first of all I need to create a container for server side. So I'll go to the admin section. Then I'm gonna be clicking on this plus button and I'll name this as W3 passive server. And I'm gonna be choosing this server container and I'll click on create. So if you want to use Google Cloud Platform, then you need to choose automatically provision trigger as tagging server, or if you want to use step, then you need to use this option manually provision tagging server. Okay, so you need to copy this uh, container config ID and you need to provide put it in the step section. Okay, so let's create a container for step. Okay, recent GTM container. So I'm gonna click on create container and I'll name the container as W3 passive server. Okay, and in the container configuration section we need to provide this URL or this ID. Okay, so I'll go to the step and I'm gonna provide this as this one, and you can choose the server location as your current location or your neighbor location. So I'm gonna be choosing India, AP South India. Then I'll click on create container. Okay, so you can see their subscription plan. So they will give you initially 10,000 requests for free. Then they have pro plan, which is for $20 per month, pro plus $50 per month, business $100 per month, business plus 150 per month, enterprise $200, their price was $300. And if you want a custom plan, then you can contact with them. Okay, so I'm gonna click on continue with pre-plan. Then you can set up the billing country. So for the time being, I'll be ignoring this. Okay, so I'll click on back to SGTM container. So you can see over here they have given us a domain. So this is their domain. Actually, you can see over here, it is step domain. So if we use this option, then we can set up server-side tagging, but it will not be a first-party data collection server-side tagging. So if you go over here, then you can see over here they are suggesting us to add custom domain. We highly recommend to add a custom subdomain for the correct performance of first party cookies and to use step subdomain for testing purpose only. So they are suggesting us to use this step domain for testing purpose, and if we want to gather first party data or collect first party data, then we need to use custom domain, or we need to use uh, subdomain tracking. Okay, so what we'll do basically, we'll be creating a subdomain and we'll add those records in our DNS, in our cPanel. Okay, so I'm gonna click on add custom domain. Then you can see over here, then they're suggesting us to give us a domain name. So I'll be naming it as tracking dot, then my website name, tracking dot w3 asset. I'm gonna remove all of this option and I'll copy this one actually. Tracking dot this one. Actually, I need to provide the main domain, not this. Tracking dot w3 asip dot xyz. This one. Okay, perfect. And you can see over here, we need to add these DNS records to our cPanel. Okay, type A tracking w3 the save tracking this one. So you can see over here I am in the cPanel. So what you need to do, you need to go to your cPanel, then you'll have an option called domain, and inside domain you have an option called zone editor. Okay, just wait a little bit and you can see this is our domain. So I'm gonna click on manage and I'll click on add record and I'll copy the host name from here and provide it like this. Then detail this one, I'll keep this as this one. Then type is A, so I'll be choosing A, and the record would be this one. So I'm gonna copy this value from here and paste it over here. Okay, so I'll click on save record. You can see success, you successfully saved the following record. Okay, then I'll click on add record again, and I'm gonna go to the step and I'll copy this host name from here and paste it over here, and this time type would be a this one, and I need to put this value over here. Okay. So I'll click on save record, and it has successfully added. So you can see these are the two records I have just added. Okay, perfect. Then I'm gonna click on verify. So it will take some time for verifying. Okay, so let's do the other work. Let's refresh it. It should be verified soon. You can see it is ready. That means it is verified. Okay, perfect. Then we can use this domain. So this is our main domain, So using this domain, we can track our first party domain, sorry, first party domain data. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this URL and I'll go to the admin section. I'll go to the container settings and I'm gonna click on add URL and I'm gonna provide this URL over here and I'll click on save. Okay, perfect. Then if we go to a step, then we have an option called power apps actually. So I'm gonna click on custom loader and you can see I'll enable the custom loader. I'll click on save changes. Domain is this one and I need to provide web GTM ID. So this is our server ID and I'll go to the web GTM. I'm gonna copy this. Actually, then go to the step, select platform as other, and I'll click on generate. And we need to provide this code because this tag manager code you can see over here. So it is containing our own domain, not tag manager domain. Okay. So I'll copy this code and paste it in the admin panel of our site. So I'll go to the admin panel of our site /wp-admin. So I'll go to the plugin section and I'm going to install a plugin called insert header footer. I'm going to search for insert header. This one, I'm going to click on install now. I'll click on activate. And before activating it, I'll go to the settings portion and I'll go to the tag manager and I'm gonna turn this container off. Okay, and make sure data layer is enabled. Okay, yeah, it is enabled. Then I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, then I'll go to the code snippet section and I'm gonna go to the header and footer section and I'll go to the step and copy this code and paste it in the header section and I'll go to the step and copy this code and paste it in the body section. Okay, perfect. I'll click on save changes. So we are done. So we'll be using a server container later because we need to create all the necessary server tag in the web container right now using GA4 client, because as I already told you, we'll be using GA4 client for sending browser side data to the server side. Okay, so perfect. First of all, we need to create a tag for maybe GA4 client tag. Okay, or you can name it as per your requirements. So I'll be clicking on tag configuration and I'll be choosing Google Analytics, and you can see we need to use Google tag first, then we can use Google Analytics GA4 event. So the tag ID. So if you don't have any real analytics account right now, then you can use the random analytics ID, like I'm providing G, then I'm gonna provide 10 digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then in the container configure settings option, I'm gonna provide add parameter, and for providing server URL, maybe I need to write server container URL. Yeah, this one. Let's double check it. Yeah, this one, server container URL. So I'm gonna copy it from here, paste it over here, and we are gonna be using this step URL. Okay, perfect. And we are gonna be using so if I go to here, then we're gonna be using this one. Then this one. And we're gonna be providing first party data collection. Do we have this option here? No, so we need to write manually first party underscore data. Okay, and we need to provide another thing, which is event underscore ID. Okay, so for deduplication we need to use event ID. Okay, so for FBP I have created data layer variable, so I'm gonna use first party data FBP, then first party data FBC, and first party data would be true. And for event ID, what I need to do, I need to create data layer variable or variable for event ID. Okay, so I'm gonna search for event ID, this one. So I'll add this to workspace. And I need to create a variable for event ID. Facebook event ID, and I'm going to be choosing variable configuration, and I need to select event ID. I'll click on save. So sorry, I need to create it again. So let's go to the variable section. If event ID is over here or not. Facebook event ID is over here. So I'll go to the tag section and I'll quickly create a tag for, maybe I will name it as J4 base tag. Tag configuration as Google Analytics, Google tag, and I will put a random ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. Uh, configuration settings, I'll provide the event parameter as server container URL. Sorry, this one. Then I'm gonna provide the value as this one. And I'll provide event underscore ID as Facebook event ID. Then I need to provide this information, FBP cookie, then FBC cookie, and the last one is first party cookie. First party data, this one is true, this one is first party FBC, this one is first party FBP. So perfect. Server container URL, event ID, FBP, FBC, first party data collection. Then triggering would be all pages. Okay, perfect. Then one thing I need to do for each of the event, I need to use event ID in each of the configuration section. Where is the Facebook base tag? Base tag is missing, but why? Okay, let's create it. Oh, yeah, this one, Facebook event page view. Okay, sorry. So what I need to do, I need to go to the advanced setting, not advanced, actually more settings, and I need to use event ID. So I'm gonna use Facebook event ID, this one, for deduplication. Okay, so I'll click on save. So this is for the page view, and let's do it for the all the events. So let's go to the add to cart. Then let's click on more settings and use Facebook event ID. Okay, this one. Click on save. Then Facebook event checkout. I'm gonna click on more settings, and I'm gonna be using Facebook event ID. Then Facebook purchase. more setting, Facebook, event ID. I'm gonna click on save. I'll go to the view card section. More settings. Facebook, event ID. Click on save. Facebook view content. More settings. Facebook, event ID. Click on save. Okay. So we have set up event ID for all of the events. So let's create all the server side tag. Okay. So I'm gonna click on new and name it as server side Facebook. For example, Facebook view content. Okay, cool. Then as the tag configuration, I'm gonna choose Google Analytics 4 event, and I need to provide the measurement ID. So let's create a measurement ID which is universal. GA4 measurement ID, and I'm going to be choosing variable configuration as constant variable. We'll provide it G1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, save. Google tag found in this container. Okay, GA4 event name would be view item. Okay, because we are going to be using GA4 event name schema. GF view item. Okay, view item include user provided data from your website. New variable. Manual configuration. Email would be customer billing email. Phone number would be customer billing phone. First name would be customer billing first name. Customer billing last name. Street would be customer billing address 1. City would be customer billing city. Region would be state, most probably. Country would be maybe country. Postal code would be postcode. Okay, so we are all done. I'll click on save. User provided data. And event parameter would be view content. Actually, I have used this one in the GA4 config tag, so I don't need to use this again, FBP, FBC, first party cookies. Okay, so if I use them, then it would be all right. So event parameter is content category, then content IDs, then content name, then content type, content category, content ID, content name, content type. Let's go to the content type, content name, content category, value, and currency. Value, value, currency. Then I need to provide event ID as well. So event underscore ID. Okay, cool. So content category, content ID, content name, content type, value, currency, event ID. The content category would be DLV, item category, content ID should be DLV, item ID, content name would be DLV, item name, content type would be product. Then value would be DLV price, item price, exactly. And currency would be DLV currency, and event ID would be Facebook event ID. This one, so content category, category ID, item ID, name, type, value, currency, event ID. Okay. Then more settings, we don't need to do anything. Advanced settings, we don't need to do anything. The triggering section will be using view content trigger. So I'll click on stay here. I'll click on save. So server side view content, I'll be copying this one and I'll use it for add to cart. Add to cart. Instead of view item, I'm gonna be using add to cart. Okay, everything will be remaining same other than this trigger. I'll be using add to cart trigger. Click on save. Server side add to cart, then I'll copy this tag and I'm gonna use it for view cart. Server side add to cart, then server side view cart. I'll name the event as view underscore cart. Okay. Then content category as item category, content ID as I need to write purchase or something like that. No, not purchase actually. Products, multiple products ID, multiple array, content ID, and for content name, product ID, multiple name. Okay, product names, multiple array. Content type product value would be TLV value. TLV value, this one, and currency would be TLV currency event ID. Then I'll change the trigger as view card trigger. Stay here. I'll save it. And I'm gonna copy the view card trigger, sorry, tag. This would be for checkout. And I need to see this. So I'll search for GA4 e-commerce tracking. Measuring e-commerce. I'm gonna choose tag manager. Then initiate checkout. So tag configuration, so begin checkout. So I'm gonna copy the event name and paste it over here. Okay, perfect. All of the things will be remaining same other than the trigger name. So I'll be using initiate checkout or checkout trigger. I'll be clicking on save and I'll copy the checkout trigger and I'm gonna use it for purchase. Name it as server side AB purchase and I'll give the event name as purchase. Okay, cool. Then container array name type value currency event ID Facebook event ID. So I'll change the trigger and I'm gonna use it as purchase trigger and I'll click on save. Okay, so server side tag from the browser side and is done. So we are using GA4 client for sending browser side data to our server side. Okay, so let's go to server container and let's see what we can do. So this is our server container. So first of all, I need to install a template called Facebook Pixel. So I'm gonna search for, actually I'm gonna search for Facebook. Convention API tag, this one. I'm gonna click on add to workspace. I'll click on add. So it has been added. Now let's go to the settings portion and I'm gonna refresh this. Let's name the tag as Facebook Conversion API. And I'll be choosing tag configuration. I'll be choosing Conversion API tag. I'll go to the settings. I'll enable this option and I'll go to the generate access token section and I'm gonna copy this access token and I'm gonna provide it over here, and we need to copy the pixel ID or dataset ID from here as well. So I'm copying it and paste it over here, and we need test event code, and for getting it we'll go to the test event section and if I click on it then we'll get the code. So I'll enable this check mark, okay, and I'll go to the triggering section and I'm gonna click on, I'll name the trigger as CAPI trigger, and I'll be clicking on trigger configuration and I'm gonna choose custom. Instead of using all events, I'm gonna use some events and I'll be using event name mass regex. Then I'll be using page view pipe view item, then add to cart, then view cart, then maybe begin checkout, right? Let's go to the triggering section because I need to confirm it. So begin checkout. So let's copy it. Begin checkout, then last one is purchase. So we are gonna be sending this events, okay? And I'll be using choose built-in variables, client name, stay here, equals shit GA4, okay? Event MS reject space view item, add to cart, view cart, begin checkout purchase, and client name equals purchase. So I'll click on save. I'm gonna click on save again. So we're all done, and now we need to check whether it is working or not. Okay, so for checking, we need to go to the preview section from the browser end and from the server end as well. So this is from the browser and this is from the server. It is loading. Just wait a little bit. So let's choose one of the products. For example, this one. go to browser, Facebook event, view content, server side, view content. It is working. And this is our server tag. You can see over here page view event, Facebook conversion API. Okay, so it has fired, and you can see the information we are getting. Okay, so if I click on it, post 200, that means the status is correct, and we're passing this informations: currency, value, content category, name. Okay, content type, everything is working properly. So this is for the page view, and you can see the client is GA4 and tags view item has fired. Okay, so post 200, we're providing these informations. Okay, so let's do other events. I'm gonna click on add to cart. You can see view content has deduplicated, page view has deduplicated. That means it is working properly. Okay, then view this product to the cart. Let's click on the checkout and let's make a purchase. So you can see it is loading. You can see all the tags are firing: Facebook event, page view, view content, add to cart, view cart, checkout, purchase, GA4 base tag, server side view content, server side add to cart, server side view cart, server side checkout, server side purchase. Let's go to the server container, and you can see purchase tag has fired, conversion API succeeded, then view cart succeeded, view item succeeded, add to cart succeeded. Let's go to the business manager. So purchase deduplicated, view cart deduplicated, view content deduplicated, add to cart deduplicated. So everything is working fine, everything is working properly. So this is how you can set up a complete Facebook conversion API using first party data collection. Okay, so this is a comprehensive tutorial. So hopefully you have liked our video. If you like our video, then you can consider subscribing our channel. And additionally, if you need to set up Facebook conversion API, then you can contact us. You can send message on WhatsApp because we have given our WhatsApp URL.